That's that big move. Started at, looks like it started maybe a little, well, a little early, about 140-ish. We have this bottom here between 2 and 3, and that's that opportunity with the big move to the upside afterwards, a bullish opportunity here. Hey, Aaron. Oh, thanks. I mean, this is the big move. We should see more moving to the upside. Like we should move into the upside into the close. But you want to be careful because we've got we've got Prince of Cups in the post market. Sometimes the post market card starts before the close. It happens. I would say probably wait for this RSI to hit the 80 mark and then tap out. But this wouldn't be an awful place to exit. It's just we've got a lot of time left. We've got about 50 minutes, which should be bullish behavior. Probably go notably higher than this. But really, what you want to pay attention to is the RSI. And overbought and oversold are going to be relatively different depending on the stock. Like they all go by higher number equals closer to overbought, lower number equals closer to oversold. But like you have to look at the RSI of the actual stock, and then you can determine. See, like this one doesn't go up very often, but when it goes up, we get a reversal, right? It doesn't go up to the top very often, but when it does, we get a reversal. We tap the bottom. So technically, we should see a tap of the top before we see the bottom again, technically, because we did touch bottom here. And usually that's how it goes. You go from top to bottom, I mean, with kind of a wavy line in between, but for the most part. Important price level tomorrow. Probably the science price level since we're right around that. A lot of price change early in the morning. Huh. So it looks like the low is an important price level. Tomorrow's low. But a lot of price change out of the open. And we open higher. Tomorrow's going to be a tricky day. A lot of like it'll be a sideways kind of day, but like with a lot of back and forth. All right, so in the first half hour around the open, there's going to be enough price change that one should be able to position themselves in both directions at like putting on a leg at a time. So like a straddle or a strangle, but putting on the legs one at a time. And what we want to see is like this key technical resistance level here around the open that we would be bumping along resistance at, that resistance level that we'll be bumping along that level. Probably open up a short position there, and then we most likely have a lot of price change like to the downside here, followed by a big move higher between 10 and 11, and then more decline between 11 and 12. But I think the low's probably going to be around like 11 o'clock. Between 11 and 12. I'm thinking probably around 11 o'clock. And around that time, you open up the long leg. So you open up the short leg at that resistance level really early in the morning. Open up the long leg. There may be a really sharp drop here first thing in the morning off of that resistance. Or it may be like a gradual decline with like a swing to the upside before a swing to the downside. So either like there's going to be a big drop right out of the open, and you'll have opportunity there in the midst of that drop to open up a short position, or not so much. We'll see, and instead we'll see kind of like a swing to the upside around 10 o'clock, and then a swing to the downside to a low around 11. In which case, at that time, I would open up the short. So if you have the opportunity here first thing in the morning, in other words, you could take it. If you don't, take it here around like 11 o'clock. You could close a short position. Excuse me, you could probably close the long. If you get an opportunity to open up the long position here in like the first half hour, then you'd have an opportunity to close that long position here between 10 and 11. Or at the end of the day when we're bumping up against resistance again. Why is it taking so long? My god. Freaking E-Trade, man. Ugh. Really? Oh, unbelievable, man. Every retrograde with this freaking E-Trade. Supposed to have like the best charting. Are you serious right now? Sorry guys, I don't know what the hell is going on with E-Trade, but it's like bugging out. So annoying. I'm sorry guys. It's retrograde. It happens every retrograde. E-Trade. Is it really still loading? Like what the E-Trade? I'm gonna try it one more time. Jesus, I feel like the whole site is down. Hello, E-Trade. Let's go, my man. Dude. It like just died. It's like not working at all now. I'm getting really fed up with E-Trade. I'm so tired of all the fucking technical difficulties. Sorry I cursed. But I'm really getting sick of E-Trade. I don't even remember my password for TradingView. Alright, I'm going to use TradingView, guys, because E-Trade's just, like, letting me down non-stop. They're not as pretty, the charts, but hey, at least they work. What is this? Are you kidding me? This is supposed to be a one-day chart? This doesn't even make any sense. Wow, guys, I'm so sorry for all these technical difficulties, but like this you're seeing the same chart that I'm seeing, right? This is supposed to be the one-day chart for the SPY. That makes no sense. Alright, I'm like getting really fed up. I might just call it today, guys. There we go. Now E-Trade's working. Thanks for nothing, TradingView. Are you serious? It was just working. I switched screens. Okay, here we go. Like, that chart looks nothing like the TradingView chart. Look at this chart compared to the TradingView chart. Does that even make any sense to anybody? So tomorrow for scalp, there's probably a short scalp here after like we make a high here between 10 and 11, or it might even be at the open. That there's an important price level there, right? A big move to the upside, probably a drop first, and then a big move to the upside followed by a decline to a low. So we go from like a high to a low between 11 and 12, or excuse me, between 10 and 12. And in that low between 11 and 12, that would be to open up a long position, close the long position towards the end of the day when we're bumping up against key resistance on a one-day kind of scale. Hey Samantha, welcome. Not sure what you're saying my bad about. That was some of the worst E-Trade charting glitches I've seen since I've been using E-Trade, actually. Right, so this is that trade that we were talking about yesterday, this really juicy trade from a low around 2 to 3 o'clock. It ended up being at 140, but even so, pretty juicy to get in on a long position, hold that long position until pretty much the close there. But now we're in oversold territory on the 1 minute chart. See how we've gone above the 80 mark? That's the first sign of topping out, but it's on a 1 minute chart. You never want to just go by the 1 minute chart because A lot of people trade on 5-minute charts, 15-minute charts. Unbelievable E-Trade. Pretty sharp drop there, that's for sure. So there's probably more decline tomorrow. And in the midst of that decline would be opportunity to open up long position. Same thing goes for the 12th. If there's decline on the 12th, there should be a sharp drop in a period of sideways rotation there. That would be opportunity to open up a long position. Hey, Robert. Unbelievable. Oh, no kidding. An error occurred. Maybe it'll work better now. It took it that long to figure out it was having an error. Yeah, so this is that really juicy trade we were talking about yesterday. I expect I'll see some 5% rule of karmas come through based on this trade here. This was a solid trade, guys. I don't know if I would try and just catch that scalp. What I would do is, in the midst of this behavior here in the first half hour, I would most likely see opportunity to open up a long position in the midst of a decline and a short position when we hit a key resistance level, right? So not at the same time, but in that first half hour. If I don't see that opportunity for the short position, then what'll happen is we'll hit the high first and then drop from the high to a low, and that would be a short scalp trade there. I mean, sorry, if I don't see an opportunity to open up a long position, like we would meet that high and then drop to a low. So there might be opportunity here first half hour to open up a long position. There might not, but by the like 10 to 11 o'clock hour, sorry, the 11 to 12 o'clock hour, by that time there will have been an opportunity. You mean low for the month, Samantha? This is why it's a really good idea to watch the lives, because as we get closer to these dates in time, it becomes clearer and clearer what's going to happen. So my sense is that well, I mean, it could be a low there. Let me see. No, that low is on the 4th, 5th. Pretty confident that the low for the month ends up being on the 4th, 5th. So If you were watching yesterday, we discussed how most likely this wasn't going to be a lowest low. It would just be a prominent low, and you can see it ended up being a prominent low. So it's always a good idea to watch the lives, because sometimes we notice when things don't go according. You know, we can kind of like readjust our prediction based on what's transpired. Yeah, I know. Well, what they should do is they should remove cars from New York City. You don't need cars in New York City. Like, it's more of a hassle than anything. The only people driving cars in New York City for the most part are people that don't live in New York City. And what they should do is they should force them to park outside the city and take a train in. They'll do that one day. That'll happen one day in New York. It'll be a carless city someday. Oh, at around 11:12. I gotcha. Yeah, so, yeah, so most likely the low will be here between 11 and 12. I definitely want to make sure that I put on a short position when we hit a key resistance level. It's going to be a little tricky here in the first half hour. Some back and forth going on there. But I want to be holding a short position to close in the low here. If I'm lucky, I'll be able to open up a long position, which I could close here for a scalp. But more likely, I'll open up a long position at the low and close the long position at the end of the day when we meet key resistance and we're near overbought here, or we're in overbought crest. See, in a 5-minute, we're just now tapping overbought territory. And on a 10-minute, we still got a little ways to go. And we've got what? We've got about 20 minutes left. I'd say we probably go higher still. So guys, if you're new, just want to make sure you know about the rule of karma, especially if you're following this trade that we were talking about yesterday for today, this solid bullish trade here into the close. Make sure to follow that rule of karma. You do so on our resources tab here. Where we ask that you send 5% of the profits that you make from the information on this channel forward to one of these charities. 5% of the profits back to the channel at Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, or if you're international, you could try Wise. That leaves you with 90% of the money that you made from this information. Make sure you spend that out of love, and the universe will send it back to you tenfold from all directions. It's the unwritten rule of the channel, my friends, so make sure to follow that. Anything that you guys want me to take a look in the last 20 minutes here? I mean, if you didn't want to take a day trade, I wouldn't be totally opposed to holding the long position overnight. If you can take a day trade and you've got a good profit from this trade, you should take it at the close, because it's always better to take profits while you have them. But if you don't want to take a day trade, or you can't take a day trade, it wouldn't hurt to hold it overnight. You probably will make more money, but again, it's always better to take what you got. No, I would not short into tomorrow. If I was going to hold a position into tomorrow morning, it would be to the upside. Yeah, definitely to the upside. I would wait to open a short position until tomorrow. You're welcome, Samantha. You're welcome, comrade. Robert, what do you mean MicroStrategies on the NASDAQ? Hermes isn't feeling well today. I took him to the vet this morning because he was throwing up. You're a good boy, Hermes. He's out. You're asleep, huh? Robert, you want me to take a look at Mustang Alliance? Not on E-Trade. Oh, it's over the counter? Nothing really exciting coming up for MSTG. Sideways rotation, like sidewaysy type of cards. It's probably where we turn around and move higher, right around here, most likely. If I'm wrong and we move lower into the close, I would say just hold. If you didn't close a long position at the peak, I would say just hold it till tomorrow and close it tomorrow. I just kinetically drew the death card, so I don't know. I'm not getting anything really auspicious for MSTG. Hey, AV1111. Next major low, do you mean on like a multi-day scale? Or you mean like a 1 year scale? What type of like time frame are you talking major low? Yearly? It looks like towards the end of June. looks like June. A low that'll stand out doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a lower price level than what we've seen throughout the year thus far. I don't think it's going to be like substantially lower. Where did it go? It's a prominent trough on a 1-year scale, but it's not like a deep low. The low in September is the one that I would be more concerned about. That one looks like it's the lowest low for the year, and it comes after we have highest highs for the year. Guys, I'm having some stomach issues myself, so I'm probably going to have to end this early. But just to recap for you guys, this was a pretty successful trade here. I think we probably still go higher into the close. If you got a good, if you followed along and you opened up a long position down here, I would say it's always, I'm not always right about where we open. Like when I'm wrong, most of the time when I'm wrong, it's something along the lines of like where we open the next day or price level. Those are the two areas where when I'm wrong, it's most likely something like that. So with that said, it's always better to take your profits while you have them. This is a really solid trade. If you take profits here, make sure to follow that rule of karma. If you choose to hold them overnight, it does look like we open higher overnight, so it might not hurt to do so. But a bird in hand is worth two in the bush, my friends. Remember that. And so tomorrow, what we're looking for is to open up a short position, either at a key technical resistance level right around the open, or at a high for the day between like 10 and 11. And that high for the day precedes a low for the day between 11 and 12. So there's a short scalp in there. And what you want to do is you want to open a short, close the short at the low, open a long position at the low, close the long position at the end of the day. And again, if you're just hopping on, Rule of Karma is done here at the Resources tab. 5% forward to one of these charities, 5% back to the channel, leaves you with 90%. Make sure you spend that out of love. Universe will send it back to you tenfold from all directions. That's the unwritten rule of the channel. People following that rule, I call you my angel investors, because you're investing, and you're also somebody's angel, and it's great to be somebody's angel, my friends. Be somebody's angel. Where did it go? It looks like it's a decline tomorrow with the trade opportunity to open up a long position. There's a sideways rotation for Tesla along a key support level on a multi-day scale. We might rise to meet the nearest resistance and then fall back and rotate sideways some more. But it looks like we probably open lower in the morning. Or there's a low like in the first half of the day, and then there's another low on the cusp of the 11th, 12th. But the 12th looks to be a prominent crest that forms. So you go from a prominent trough here in the morning session to a prominent crest on the 12th. The yellow correlation, though, is a sharp decline on a multi-day scale, though, so look out for that. There's a sharp decline correlated to the 11th.